Hello everyone, welcome back to Think Lab by Saurabh. Today we are going to understand one of the most important roadmap in artificial intelligence. This is called GenAI Ops roadmap, right? So if your goal is to become an AI engineer who can build, deploy, monitor and scale the production ready AI application, then this roadmap is for you. So many people learn chat GPT or prompt engineering, but company expect much more, much more than the writing the prompt, right? So they can expect engineer who can build the complete AI system. So this is exactly what the roadmap teach, right? So it start with the prompt engineering, then it's moved to RAG, then it's AI agent, then LLM ops, then agent ops, right? And finally you have to build the production ready AI application. So let's start with the phase one, right? So the phase one is the foundation, right? So in the foundation, the first topic is the prompt engineering. A prompt is simply as an instruction given to a large language model. So the quality of your prompt directly affect your quality of response. So good prompt reduce the hallucination and improve the accuracy, right? So you have to learn the zero shot prompting. This means asking the model without the example, right? So learn one shot prompting. So here you provide one example before asking the questions, and then we have to move to the learn few short programming. So in this method multiple example teach the models to desired pattern, right? And ultimately we have to study the chain of thought prompting. So this encourage to model give the reason step by step before answering, right? So role prompting assign a specific identity to models such as data scientist, lawyer, and software engineering. So instruction prompting tell us the model exactly what output format you need, right? So practice this technique using GPT, Cloud, Gemini, and Llama. So each model behaves slightly different, so that testing across model improve your skill. So now let's move to retrieval-augmented generation. We call the RAG. So a large language model has a fixed training data, right? Fixed training knowledge. So if it cannot automatically access your company private data, so RAG solve the problem, right? So instead of retaining the model, RAG retrieve the relevant information from external knowledge base, right? So that retrieve information is added to prompt. So the model then generate a much more accurate answer. So typically RAG pipelines work like load the document, split into the different chunks, convert each chunks into the embedding, store embedding into the vector database. So when a user asks the question, convert the query into the embedding. So search as similar words, right? Similar vector. So retrieve relevant documents, send them to LLMs and generate the final answer. So popular vector databases include the ChromaDB, Pinecone. These are the very popular databases. So we have to use here in the RAG. So RAG is widely used for the enterprise search, PDF chatbot, customer support, and the internal knowledge assistant, right? So now phase one is complete. Let's move to the phase two, right? So phase two is the build. So this phase focus on building the intelligent AI application. So first, the first topic is AI agent, right? So the chatbot only answer the question, but an AI agent can plan the task, call the tools, use the memory, make the decision, and complete the goal. So an AI agent usually contains six major components. First one is a large language model, second one is a memory, third one is the planning, fourth one is the tool calling, fifth one is the reasoning, and sixth one is the final execution, right? So for example, imagine a planning agent, right? Travel planning agent. So they will search the flight, book the hotel, check the weather, create inventory, send the confirmation mail. So it perform multiple action automatically, right? So this is much more powerful. This is much more powerful than the traditional chatbot. So popular framework include LangChain, Llama Index. So these are the popular frame chain we use in the AI agent, right? So after learning AI agent, the next topic is LLM ops. So LLM ops stand for the large language model operation. So it is a similar to ML ops, but design, in the certain way, designed for the particular foundation model, right? So once an AI model is developed, it must be deployed safely. So you need to learn the model versioning, right? So sometime a new model perform worse, and also roll back to a stable version. So here the CI/CD automates the testing and deployment, and we have to also register the model, store into the all the model version, right? So deployment tools, include the VLLMs in SagMaker, the ML flow is also there, llama.cpp, right? So without LLM ops, managing a system at the scale level is very difficult, right? So it's LLM ops is important in the phase two. So let's move to the phase three. So phase three is the operates. So building an AI agent is only the beginning. So operating it successfully is equally important. So the first topic is monitoring in observability, right? So monitor response latency, monitor the accuracy, track the hallucination rate, measure token users, and also we have to measure the operational costs. We have to collect the user feedback, detect the model, model drift over the time. So this metrics help to maintain the reliability in the production. So next come to scaling and automation. So as more user access your application, demand increase. So one server is usually not enough, so Kubernetes helps to manage the containers automatically. So we have to also use the Airflow, automate the data and AI workflow. So Terraform, manage the cloud infrastructure using the code. So we have to also perform the automated retraining, update the system whenever new data came for the availability, right? So now let's discuss the security and responsibility AI. So production AI system must protect the sensitive data, implement the authentication and authorization. We have to perform the encrypt the confidential data, and also we have to reduce the bias in the model output, right? So we have to maintain the confidential data, we have to reduce the bias in the model output, and as well as we have to ensure the fairness for the difficult user. So also we have to, in this step we have to follow the privacy regulation and governance policy, right? So responsible AI is not optional, it is essential for real world deployment, right? So now we will enter into the next phase, the phase 4. The phase 4 is agent ops, right? So as AI agent become more complex, they require the specialized operation. So this is called the agent ops. So agent ops manage the complete life cycle of AI agent. You have to learn the framework like LangChain, Llama Index, right? So they then study the multi-agent system. So instead of one agent doing everything, multiple specialized agent is we have to collaborate it, right? So one agent will perform the search, another write the code, another validate the output, another prepare the reports. So together they solve the complex business problem, right? So agent monitoring track, we have to monitor the agent latency, execution time, failure, also as well as the cost and the tool uses. So observability helps developer to debug the agent behavior, right? So, we have to also perform the security become more important. We have to protect the API, and we have to give the secure tool access, as well as we have to perform the implementation authentication and the monitoring the agent action, right? So responsible AI also applies to automate to perform the autonomous agent, right? So we have to perform all these things. We have to prevent the harmful behavior, maintain the transparency, and the final come to the capstone project, right? So this project combine everything in everything you have learned, right? So build one complete production ready GenAI application, use the prompt engineering, use the RAG, use AI agent, deploy with the LLM ops, manage using the agent ops, monitor the performance. Then you have to implement the security, collect the user feedback. Then we have to perform the continuous improve the system. So now let's review the technology stack, right? So for AI model, learn the GPT, Claude, Gemini, and Llama. For the frameworks, learn the LangChain and Llama Index. Right? Haystack is also there. For the vector databases, practice with ChromaDB, Pinecone, Weaviate is also there. Right? For development, understand the VLLM, SagMaker, ML flow, and the llama.cpp. For monitoring, learn the ML flow, like we have to, Datadog is also there, weight in bias is also there. So we have to learn those things. For the cloud platform, explore the AWS, Google Cloud, and Azure. So now let's summarize the complete learning journey. So start with the prompt engineering, learn the RAG, build AI agent, understand LLM ops, master the agent ops, right? And finally deploy the secure and scalable production ready AI system. So this roadmap reflects the skill many organizations look for when building the modern generative AI application. So you don't need to master everything in one day. Learn one concept at a time, build a small project, improve it continuously, and this is how the strong AI engineering skill are developed. So thank you for watching. If you found this video roadmap helpful, so please like the video, subscribe the Think Lab by Saurabh, and share it with others who want to build production ready AI systems. So see you in the next video. Happy learning. Thank you.